How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba episode review, recap, entertainment district. This is episode 4 of this particular arc, and because they have, instead of pushed it all together, lumped it apart, that's the only way I can remember this episode 4, even though this would technically be season 4, what, season 2, episode, what, 12 ish? But today's episode is titled Tonight. Literally, tonight. So, before I begin, please remember to give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. All three of those things help me out. And if you aren't new here, hit the notification bell so you can get notified of more videos like this. So, apparently, this came out yesterday. I did not know that because typically they come out on Sundays. But I guess they wanted to be ahead of the curve for the holidays, which those of you who were able to watch it on Christmas, congratulations. Hope you had a good Christmas. So if you remember last time, I'm just gonna speed wrap up last time. Zenitsu defended a young lady who was crying. He found the demon. Demon backhanded him into next week. Inosuke had found the demon, which is how she ended up there. And on top of that, she kidnapped Zenitsu on top of having Makio. Uh, and doesn't look too good. Things are getting tight. Tight. So, where are we at now? We're at the Tokido house. Someone's calling the Oiran. It's actually those two little cute twin girls. They're calling the Oiran. They want her to play with them. They want her to read a story for them. And her name is Koi Natsu. So this is the good Oiran. This is the sweet girl. Um, as a matter of fact, she the she's lovely. And the girls are damn right adorable. She actually says Ara Ara. So for those of you who are Ara Ara fans, if you know, you know. Go ahead. It's in the first open. It's in the opening beginnings of this episode. But she has something to give them. She gives each of them gives a gold hairpin and a silver hairpin. There's not two apiece. It's just one of them's gonna get the gold, one of them's gonna get the silver. And they say, this isn't this treasure of yours, and she's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I want to give them to you. And um, before wait, I almost skipped this, but Tanjiro, or what he calls, I call him Sumi-chan. He is just peeking in while he's still doing his work, and I don't know, man. I even wrote in here. I felt like stuff's about to go bad. I was not wrong. Um, Someone reports to the master of the house, the guy, the one who was Oyamitsu's, I guess you can say husband, reports that Zenko cannot be found, and he's like, "Don't look for her. Don't mention her name ever again. Tell the others, do not mention her name again." He's just gonna consider her Ainisuke, the whole act of ladies of the night running off so they don't have to pay these debts and blah 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 blah. And he does end up throwing his cat. He has an abacus. If you don't know what an abacus is, look it up, kids. Actually, no kids should be watching my videos. So if you guys don't know what an abacus is, just look it up. It's an old counting tool. They stopped using them up in the 80s, I think. But anyway, he even throws that at her. He's saying all this has happened because they got on Waribari Hime's nerves. He's thinking about Zenko and Oimitsu. And I'm just shaking my head because the demon has a stranglehold on them. Like, he is fearful and doesn't know what to do. Now, we are in the morning time, guys. So, Inosuke meets up with Tanjiro, and he's trying to describe the demon, but he's doing a bad job. He's like, it's like this, and it's going around like that, and like this. Actually, let me give you some extra light here. Extra right here. He's like, it's like this, and that, and zoo zoo. And he's doing all this, and Tanjiro's like, I don't understand what the hell you're trying to say. Let's just wait for Zenitsu and Uzui Tengen-san to get here. And Tengen says Zenitsu's not coming. And they're both like caught off guard because he appeared out of nowhere. Even Inosuke remarks, this guy did not make a this guy did not make a sound. There wasn't a puff of wind when he landed. He's just not there. Tanjiro asks, what does he mean by what he said? And Tengen says he feels bad for putting them through this. He was so eager to get his wives back that he has made bad decisions. Flat out, Zenitsu is missing, hasn't made any contact, and he tells them to go back because they're way too low rank for this. Because if there's an upper rank demon around, they're not going to be able to handle it. And he's going to just continue the mission alone. And again, dude disappears, ninja vanish, super quick. And that's kind of half true what he says, right? I mean, technically Inosuke and Tanjiro in tandem were able to kill the last. Oh wait, that guy was in the upper rank, was he? He was a lower rank. They're able to take on lower ranks pretty damn well. I think Tanjiro has killed two of them now. Fortunately, when we get to those upper ranks, the upper ranks are killing Hashira. So yeah, there's an issue. Oh, there's a big issue. And it's kind of crazy because considering the fact that he was going to bring in other younger female members that wouldn't have been able to do anything. So even though Tanjiro tried to speak up, Tengen, and this is before he ran off, he said that they shouldn't be ashamed. Whoever survives is the winner, right? So take this opportunity and just leave. Don't overlook. And that's when he vanished. And Tanjiro thinks that he can't trust them, or should I say, Tanjiro believes that Tengen believes he cannot trust them because they are low ranks. But what's my guy called? My guy Inosuke says, actually we're ranks. We're slightly above the Kanoe. I thought he was talking about Kano. I think her name's Kano. Kano he. Sorry, first I thought he was talking about Kanae, but he wasn't talking about Kanae. He's just talking about the rank they are, and I am not super good with kanji, so I could not read the kanji on this. But when he's speaking, there's a chart, and they had started at the Mizunoto phase. They were right at the bottom, and they go all the way up. Now, Kanae, she's actually a Tsushinoko, and that's who he's talking about. Well, she's at Tsushinoko, but they're right below her at Kanoe. And this was little moments to insert a little bit of humor in this moment because they're all heads and their heads move up, and the one guy from the Spider Force, he's right there. And he's like, I can't believe you guys already surpassed me, and his head is fighting with Inosuke's head, and the others their heads are just watching, kind of like It was funny and adorable because when they do chibi stuff in this series, it's darn right cute. Um, and and Tanjiro is kind of surprised that he remembers the rank system, right? And what he does, he shows him rank by saying, I think he said a phrase like rank up here, and the rank appeared on his arm, on his hand. And Tanjiro was like, how'd you get that? He said, you don't remember when we were at the Westera place? They did a thing to their arm called the Westera flower engraving. So if they ever want to know their rank and things like that, you just say it. And he says, I'm gonna be honest. Tanjiro says, I'm gonna be honest. I was exhausted, so I don't remember anything. And he's kind of sad. Tanjiro seems kind of sad, like he doesn't remember the stuff. He's not retaining things, and Inosuke kind of pats him on the back really hard and tells him, cheer up, don't worry about it. And Tanjiro, he snaps out of it for this quick moment. He says he's going back to the Ogimoto house, and he's asking Inosuke to wait for him. And Tanjiro should be done investigating the house by tonight. Inosuke is being very Inosuke because he's puffing up his cheeks and he's literally slapping at the back. He's slapping Tanjiro because he's saying, I told you the demon was at my house. And he's and it's so funny because I think the lady that brought in Zenitsu lives by, and she was saying, shut up, they better shut up there. And Tanjiro was trying to explain to him that Uzui have been patrolling outside the houses during the night. So even though Zenitsu has disappeared and the demons at his house, there's they haven't seen anybody. He hasn't seen anybody move out or anybody move around, and so he's thinking that there's a hidden passages inside the buildings. Good job for you, Tanjiro. You caught on quickly, and Inosuke kind of stops for a moment. Well, fully stops and says, "Passageway." He's like, "Yeah." If you think about it, uh, they're not coming outside, and if they come out, there's a chance. There's a chance that the demon is moving and is disguised as a human, so it's being more careful about killing people, right? And to make sure its cover won't be blown, that's kind of why it's moving through these passages. And Inosuke does mention that cleaning away blood and things of that nature will be a hassle, so it makes sense. And one thing that was remarked on by Tanjiro, this is a nightlife district. You know, it's a good and a bad thing for the demon because at night it has to go to work or else it's going to, blow its cover. But during the day it can't really move freely. So they are able to narrow down what's going on. Um, Tanjiro is going to Tanjiro again. I love this character. He says that he's going to act as if Zenitsu and Tengen's wives are all alive, and no matter what, he's going to rescue them. And he tells Inosuke he has to do the same. He tells him do the same thing, act with that mindset, but also don't you dare die. He has to promise him that he can't die. And man, Inosuke, I've grown to like this character since after his initial appearance because he slaps his own knee and goes, I was going to tell you to do the same thing. Look how far these boys have grown. Oh yeah, you're gone. Just get the hell out of here. Look how far these boys have grown. Anywho, so it's getting darker. The little young ones bring the Oiran. What's her name? God. Her name was the not Koinatsu. There you go. They bring her some tea. She tells them, "You guys run along. Go ahead and eat dinner. I'm gonna finish up here." And they're going to, but then they peek their heads and they both tell her that they love her. It's freaking adorable. You are setting us up for disaster. I know that's what you're doing. It tells them that they love her, and she says, "I love you" right back. Now go ahead and get out of here. And she's kind of checking up on herself. Tanjiro, this dude is just as he's just as swiftly quiet because he appears behind her and he says he's going to be leaving the house and he's asking her to give the master his payment for food and lodging. And I'm thinking to myself, because I was thinking initially, could she be a demon? But the thing about our three boys, they are part of the five senses crew, right? Sight, smell, taste, hearing, touch. These three are touch, hearing, and sight. I mean, smell. So if she was a demon, Tanjiro would be able to smell it. So I kind of had to flick myself in the head. Um, and she's like, "Oh, you dress really weird." And he explains, "Sorry for the deception. I'm actually a boy." She's like, "Oh no, I knew you were a boy from the beginning, based on your voice and everything." And he has a silly face, that same long face he gets, because he's like, "Oh damn, she knew from the beginning." But she said that she figured that he wasn't, that he would have his reasons for pretending. And she says, "You pretty much, so you really are actually concerned about Sumi-san." Wait, no, Suma-chan, the wife of Tengen. He's like, "Yeah, that's actually true. That's not a lie." And he's vowing to rescue everyone that's vanished. I don't know how you're gonna do that if most of them are dead, but he's gonna get most of the people who are vanished. And she feels relief because she's actually leaving the district tomorrow. Someone actually wants to marry her. And she's super happy. She's been worried sick and had a bad feeling that something was gonna happen. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, don't you guys dare introduce all these stipulations. It's the perfect writing to get it. Be like, oh, you guys care about her. You see how sweet she is and how nice, and she's not bitchy. Be ashamed if something happened to her, wouldn't it? So he's happy for her. He's wishing her good luck in life, and she's wishing him the same. And she also says she doesn't want him to disappear, so don't you disappear there. So they calls him Sumi-chan, which is funny, but don't you disappear now. And as soon as he leaves out, Cloth just moves behind her, and she's like, "Oh, did you forget something?" It's that damn demon Wabi Marihime. I know she has a real name. I'm gonna wait till the show tells us what the real name is, but I looked up a couple things over last week because last week's episode was whew. Anyway, Tanjiro's moving, and as he's moving through, he's like, "All right, sun's setting. Wait a minute, wait a minute." He can faintly smell the sweet smell of a demon, and he's like, "All right, I gotta turn around. I gotta head." And he just books it. Inosuke is having a hard time waiting for Soichiro. He's having a hard time waiting for him, and his coming. Inosuke's coming through spirit is ready to burst. So this fool jumps, head goes through the ceiling, and he calls out muscular mice to bring his swords. Literally, big, jacked up. Oh no, I just went backwards. Big, jacked up mice. One each have one of his swords, and they're carrying them. And he's like, man, these guys who, Jesus Christ, this is crazy. Um, these guys are trained, and they have the same headband as Tengen, and he's all for these mice. They bring him his swords, bring him his boar head. He jumps down, has everything ready. The lady of the house that had brought him in, she's peeking like, what the hell is going on? And he's like, out of the way, I'm getting out of here. Pardon me, he's booking it. So it's only a matter of time before he catches up with Tanjiro. Now, um, the master of the house, the guy who was part of the house that Zenitsu was in, he has Oimitsu's uh, bloody. I can't remember what they call the coat of the kimono, but he has that bloody coat of hers. Remember the lady who she dropped in the street? Her name, that's Oimitsu, and he's holding it. And Tengen appears behind him with a kunai at his throat and tells him what happened to Zenoko and Hanasuru, one of his wives. And he says, "Give me a short answer. Don't ask me any questions." And he says, Zenko disappeared, and Hanasuru fell ill and went to the Kiramise. Uh, he then, all right, tell me everything that you think is important. Who do you think is the suspect? And as he asking that, he already pulled away the kunai. When I mean this man is a ninja. This man is a ninja because he ain't open no doors, he ain't open no windows. He's behind. I got questions. And and Tengen says you can trust me, and I'm glad he said that after he moved the kunai. He says you can, she can trust me. Speak up. Um, you know, he'll kill whoever has done all this. If it's the last thing he'll do, he swears he'll get revenge for him. And he's thinking of Oimitsu. I'm pretty sure he was married to her because it looked like these brothel houses have a lady and a man of the house, and if they aren't like close, they're probably married. I have to look more into that. I never really bothered to look into the geisha things of Japan's culture, but I'm pretty sure that's probably this situation right now. And with tear-filled eyes, as he's thinking about Oimitsu, he tells him that it's Warabari Hime who's in the last room on the north side that has no light, which is, no one ever thought it was just weird that this woman who has been a geisha since over 100 years at the same time has a room that has no light in it. No one ever questioned that shit. No, okay. Anyway, by the time the dude turns around, Tengen's already gone. He appears at the room. He's like, no one's in there. She must be on the prowl. He's gonna go to where Hanasuru is, and he can pinpoint the demon's presence there. Even if he can't do that, when daybreak hits, it's gonna go back there anyway. So he's gonna make sure he does what he needs to do. Um, Tanjiro gets back, and he knows it's Koimitsu's room. Kicks, he's there. Slices the door open, hand on his blade. This is one of the weirdest things. This is damn near vor, right? The cloth has the woman wrapped up, but her top half is being sucked into the cloth. And I'm like, I'm getting Cell flashbacks, right? And she says, "Oh, okay, so there is a demon slayer here. You, so are you with Zenoko? You know, and how many of them are there? You don't look pretty strong, so I don't think you're a Hashira. Is there a Hashira with you?" She's overconfident is the right word for it. She's very confident, and she's just telling him a bunch of stuff. Now, he's looking. He's like, she hasn't cut her body or anything. There's no smell of blood here. And when she turns, he sees the upper six in her eyes, and she's saying, "I don't devour old people or dirty people." He tells her to go, and she loses her shit and like, "Who you think you talking to?" Throws cloth, knock him, breaks his window, mind you, breaks his window opening, and sends him to the next building, and it's getting broken. And he's like, "I don't feel any. There's no strength in my limbs. I can't feel anything." And he tells himself, "I gotta calm down. The reason why there's no strength in my limbs because I'm afraid. The reason why I'm feeling shaky is because I don't know where to hit, and I need to just calm down and focus." And so he's quickly analyzing the situation. He's saying, "Okay, so she uses those claws to absorb people," which we get a little diorama of like just some random no faced geisha woman being absorbed. She's like, okay, she absorbs humans through that, and that's why when he was going throughout the whole entire house, he couldn't find bodies or anything like that because with the cloth, it just takes a small crack and it can just grow through there. It's like, all right, cool, I got you. And he's about to stand up, and she's surprised. She's like, "Oh, you're okay. You're a little bit stronger than I thought you were." And she says, "You have really nice eyes. I'll just gouge them out and devour them instead." Now, as he's about to get up, the strap on the box, on Nesco box, kind of breaks a little bit, and he's like, "Ah." He sits it down and he tells Nesco, "Hey, I can't carry you in this fight because the box is almost broken. Do not leave this box unless you are in danger." And we get cute little Nesco, doing her, her Nesco sounds, adorable little sister. And, you know, oh, I love when I don't have to write fight scenes. So they're gonna go at it. He's doing the water breathing fourth form striking tide turbulent. So he's able to deflect these claws and actually cut a bunch of them. She has to push four of them together to shoot up. They're kind of like tentacles on her. There's like at least six of them. And they push him up, but remember, I love the progression in this series. He's done midair fighting before with the arrow demon. He has some experience with this, so he's able to cut these cloths, and one of them in particular bleeds. And as he's falling, as he comes down, he lands, and the cloth behind him has Koimitsu in it, which I'm like, oh shit, okay, all right, I see how this power works. And the freaking upper rank 6 demon is complimenting him, saying, "So your mid air moves aren't so bad. You did a good job of actually rescuing her." And she's saying, how cute is this given how ugly you are? Tanjiro's panting. Obviously, he's super focused, trying not to die, realizing that he has a very strong opponent in front of him, and um, she actually says she's growing rather fond of him. He's like a rat on the brink of death. And Tanjiro's just wondering if he can fight this upper rank 6 demon without Tengen, without Inosuke, without Zenitsu. And he goes, "Nope, nope, no, no, no. It's not a matter of if. I have to do this." And he goes from this stance. I love that sword stance. It reminds me of the guy from the guy from Rurouni Kenshin, who was an actual that character is actually based on a real swordsman of the Meiji era who was going after people who were trying to stop the combining of the country. One day I'm gonna talk about Rurouni Kenshin, and I'm just gonna let all that loose. But he does that little sword stance, and that's where we end. We get our Taisho secret. We get our Nin Nin. It's Uzui and Inosuke and a bunch of muscle mice. And the muscle mice, I didn't tell you, they say muscle, 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 muscle. So he's like, who the heck are these guys? And he's like, these are ninju, the muscular mice. They crawl into hard to reach places and help slay demons. And we see the two carrying Inosuke's blade. Mind you, two mice a piece. They one apiece can carry this, and they're carrying his boar head too. And he's like, they are. He says essentially they are the shadows of the demon slayer because we get the nice little. You ever seen the? It's so tropey at this point. It's like a cliff ledge, and like all the mice silhouettes are there. Google uh, Smash Bro Ultimate with Mega Man, and then all the other guys are standing there. That's how they do that. And the Taisho secret is they take great care in assembling the most dedicated mice to train as muscle mice. They have to be narcissistic enough and in love with their own muscles, and that has to be a must. In other words, they have to be flashy. Next episode is going to be things are going to get real flashy. And in those cases, said these mice have mad skills. I really need to get myself a Demon Slayer shirt. Oh my goodness. Um, I always said I don't rate Demon Slayer episodes. This one was I'll give it a 4 if I have to rate it. If I have to, I'll give it a 4. If I don't have to rate it, it was pretty solid. I'm enjoying the fact that Dude got captured last episode, and it didn't take a full episode to be like, wonder where he went. We didn't fill it in with little slice of life stuff, which we got slice of life stuff in the beginning, and we got some of that when the entertainment arc first began because we need to they need to make us like Koinatsu, right? They need to make us wonder, wait a minute, it has to be an Orion. We already know that whoever has that hair design of the Orion has to be the demon. So we get they do a good job of stringing you along and pulling and messing with your feelings. Um, I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I'm the guy who has to stop, rewind, and rewatch things a couple of times just so I can have all this information for you guys. I'm while I will admit, manga's over, and I have looked up a couple of things, especially some things that won't happen in the anime. Was it's 2021? It's gonna be 2022 in 7 days. Uh, we probably won't get towards this even close to the end for like another 4 years if they're doing things how they're doing now. I'm 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 happy with the progression of the series, and I'm happy I haven't spoiled too much for myself. Even if I did, I probably would still enjoy it. It's fine, man. I just hope Inosuke hurries up and get there so they don't have a repeat of what happened with Rengoku. Please, please let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the episode. As always, give me a like, hit the subscribe button if you're new here. We are trying to get to 200 subscribers. We're going to get there. I believe in us. As always, if you aren't new here, please hit the notification bell that is also right there. And do me a favor, share these videos with others so they can see what a great time we're having. I think we're having a good time. As always, thank you for taking some time out to spend some time with me. Hope you had a good Christmas vacation. I hope you continue to be safe because it is crazy out there. Be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear those masks, guys. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, do not be a jerk, and I will most definitely see you guys next time.